Here's the deal. I want all of you to stop saving. Now, listen to me. Obviously, there's some activities I want you to do, but I do think we as a generation of investors need to stop saving. Now, there's obviously something I think you need to do instead, but I really have to say that again. I think we all need to let go of the idea of being comfortable saying that we are saving or we have a savings account or you know, we've been saving for decades. We're saving for this, we're saving for that. Just stop. That's the wrong attitude. That's a defeatist attitude. And frankly, that's what, all the rich people around us want us to do, right? They want us to save so that we can have money in the bank. They can do fractional lending and they can, do whatever the heck they want to do. Saving is a mistake. So let me explain. We're going to do what we always do, talk about the goals of the session. We're going to talk about why I think saving is a dirty word, why I think it's an activity that's keeping us in the middle class. Obviously, we're going to highlight what I think we should be doing instead, and then we're going to just simply talk about why. What is it about the word saving that just agitates me, and we all need to stop saying it. And then again, we'll talk about what I think we should be doing instead. So why is saving a dirty word? I don't know about you, but ever since I was, I had my first job at 13 or whatever it was, it's always been, save 10, 15, 20% of your income. Pay yourself first, right? Take a little bit of money, but, just put it away and save it. It's I can almost feel the record player in my head. And I'm just now realizing that I think that's a mistake, and lots of us are feeling comfortable when we shouldn't. This saying that you have a savings account and it has 4 figures, 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures, probably makes you feel good. And I'm here to tell you that that's a mistake. It wasn't always obvious to me, I admit, but now having talked to lots of people the last 3 or 4 months, who suffer from being cash rich and asset poor, I fully believe it's this word savings that's caused them to feel comfortable when I am scared to death. As you may recall, I have this acronym CRAP, which again stands for cash rich, asset poor, that I do think is a problem. And I really do think it's the word savings that's led people astray. We have to remember that cash is trash. These little pieces of paper, these little ones and zeros in our savings accounts or money market accounts or whatever, depreciate every day. If you don't see what's going on around us and inflation and think about where this could go in the future with the growth of the economy and all these good news and unemployment at 3.8% and all these things, if you think your cash is going to be worth more in the future, you're not paying attention. It's frankly, I'm sure it maybe happened, but I can't think of a time it's happened. Right? What used to cost a nickel back in the day costs $5 today, and it'll cost $50 in the future. Cash is trash. You should not feel good having cash. It's a problem, right? Your $10,000 today will be worth $7,000 when you retire. That's just idiotic, right? So it's cash truly is trash. I think it's being lazy. I think we're lulled into the sense of, hey, I just put $1,000 in my savings account. Woohoo! I feel great. I did my thing. Now let me just go shopping or go to a movie or watch the kids' ball game or whatever, right? You sort of felt like you did what you did. Savings is extremely lazy and leads to bad outcomes. If you're just saving, I hope this doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, but your future is not going to be as good as it should be. Even if you save 6 or 7 figures, you're going to live for, knock on wood, decades. You're going to want to take care of your kids. You may have to take care of your parents. You may have to take care of siblings. You might want to donate to charities. You might, whatever. If the only thing you have is cash, it will disappear quickly, as you're going to lose 10, 15, 20% of it to, inflation. So we need to stop saying, feeling so comfortable because we're saving. Again, I've said it before, it just leads to bad outcomes. It leads to less positive things than it should have. And I think that's something that, I'm going to hopefully help some people stop thinking about. So what should you do? Well, I think we need to suggest tweak our mindset and realize that saving is not the outcome. Now, sure, have a little savings account on the side and, emergency fund or whatever you want, but that should not be your primary investment vehicle, right? I think saving, that mindset that we get when we say that word, is wrong. I think we should convert it and start using the word stockpile. Think about that. When you say stockpile, what does that really mean to you? Um, it really means that you're building, right? You're building up, um, and you stockpile for a reason, right? Because then you're going to deploy that, and you're going to stockpile again, and you're going to deploy that, right? Building a stockpile of X. You don't do that just for fun. You don't just keep stockpiling. You need to go ahead and ultimately deploy that and use that for something. And I think that's a much better mindset, and it really is what we should all be thinking about doing. It means that you have to deploy it at some point. You wherever you store these things, warehouse, whatever, bank account, whatever, you don't just keep doing it. You're going to stockpile for a reason, and then at some point you're going to deploy that, and then you're going to need to stockpile again. Right? I just think stockpile, that mindset we get from that, is it's an activity, right? You do it for a reason, and then you execute it, and then you do it again. I just think it's a much better word. I just think we need to do something until we're ready, right? So yeah, you need to stockpile a little bit for a couple of months, and then ultimately you need to deploy that. You're not going to just take 1 week's savings or 1 month or 2 months and be ready to use it. You need to get in the throes of stockpiling so that you can build to some point so you can use it. There's no emotion, right? You're doing it for a reason. And frankly, there's no emotion in savings other than feeling lazy and comfortable. When you stockpile, you're doing it because you're gonna use that for some other reason. And then again, by stockpiling or leveraging, you avoid being what I call crap or cash rich, asset poor, right? If you're a saver and that's what you do, you're going to be potentially cash rich. Congratulations. But as you've seen before, hopefully you realize that's not something that I think is a very good outcome. But if you stockpile and then you use that stockpile for something, I think that's better. So I would caution, or I would ask you to stop saving and to start stockpiling. So again, sort of why. When I think about savings, these are the things that would come to mind, right? You're never done, right? What's the finish line? How do you know you've had enough? I think it lulls us into a false sense of being comfortable. I think it's extremely easy to spend, right? There's nothing more liquid or transferable than cash, right? So and so needs this, or so and so needs that, or I need this, or whatever. It's just gone, and then you feel horrible, right? Because you've blown your savings. Again, cash is trash. It depreciates in value via inflation. It's just it's not going to be a good outcome. I think it's an uncertain future. I think there's no question it's a less than desirable outcome. The only question is degree, right? Is it kind of okay, or oh my god, cash is 50% less valuable than it was before? And the last thing is, I think it's lazy, and I think that goes back to being comfortable. And I think if I do anything, I have to make you a little bit of uncomfortable. That's why I sort of created this video being, I'm going to title it Stop Saving, because I wanted to slap you and sort of go, what is he talking about? He's crazy. So again, stockpiling. I think it's an activity. It sort of sets the right mindset. It allows us to do an activity, build through. It helps with that investor mindset because you're going to do it for a reason. It's a purpose. It provides, and it still keeps the activity, right? You stockpile every week, every month, but then you do that for a reason. When you stockpile and you leverage that, you're actually converting to assets, which is a lot better than cash. You can create leverage. Certainly if you're in income real estate, it creates leverage. You have, you do 25, 30, 40% down, you have a loan, tax advantages, all of that. When you start to say you stockpile, it provides focus and energy. It's a better outcome because you have to do something with that. You just can't stockpile forever. And when you do that and you start executing, when you start realizing that you're stockpiling and you start, deploying that stockpile, it'll be a better outcome than just having a bunch of cash. So in the end, do me a favor, if you happen to like this concept of stop saving and start stockpiling, please leave some comments, and if you do me a favor, share this video. We need to get people to click on the video and try to figure out what this guy's talking about. Stop saving. All right. Hope you have a great day. Take care.